few beers.
What?
I did, though. That's the issue. That's like 3 weeks in a row.
I think we're 6 episodes in.
He's like, Magic the Gathering. He's like, Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle Earth. Can't pack it. He did with Asar and trading up for
saying
Marcus.
He's having trouble drafting.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Other than guys that are falling into our lap,
Yeah, no.
who's still on the team? So it's like with Cam Johnson, Duran, Johnson, Thompson, Ivy, Cunningham. That's a pretty good freaking starting lineup. Tight end, Dan Campbell, former Lions tight end.
Former Lions tight end Dan Campbell. He was like, "Oh, that's pretty sweet. That's pretty. I just want to get back to work. I gotta get these guys
you
ready."
You can just tell. Like, he's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, deep down, he's like, "I don't give a shit about a freaking helmet. I want to bite a kneecap right now."
Man.
Like, he's pissed off.
And even his intent is not great. Like you wouldn't be their father anyway. You haven't played them. You've been sitting the bench.
Oh, that's so much of it that makes it great. Is like, I'm gonna tell them that I'm their daddy, even though I've never played them. And here comes a message on Father's Day. I'm gonna freaking roast them, and then I tell them Happy Father's Day. Dude, that is so stupid.
Welcome to the 6th episode of the BDE Sports Talk podcast. My name is Bill, one of your co-hosts, along with brothers and co-hosts Eddie and Dean. Fellas, how is everything going tonight? I'm switching it
up. Doing good. Thanks for asking. Moving on.
Doing good also, man. Yeah, let's get going.
You want to get
Come
going?
on, fire up.
I'm doing good. So,
oh, Bill, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good.
Hey, that's great to hear.
That's good.
So,
it really is.
You can do
it. I'm doing excellent. So, anyways, before we get going, just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's watching this episode. If you want to hit that subscribe button, you'll know when we come out with our new episodes, and hit that like button. Shoot us some comments. We'd like to hear from you guys, and if you guys have any ideas of what you'd like to hear us talk about, we are more than open to doing that. So, with that said, as always, you guys have anything else to add to that?
No, not really. Just, like you said, thank you. I mean, this is just a repeat of but yeah, thank you. Follow the Facebook page, our other social medias, interact, things like that. It's always a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for sure. It's same as most weeks. Just appreciate you guys listening. Folks that keep doing, find us on TikTok, on Facebook, on Twitter. We're putting stuff out there. I mean, I think it's stuff that most people, that we know, and folks that enjoy Michigan sports in general like. So, I mean, it's worth a follow. It's worth a look at. I mean, because we're having a good time. We're trying to keep it funny. We're trying to keep it fun. And just check us out, man.
Perfect. Couldn't have said it any better.
Damn straight.
We will get into weekend update. Eddie, what did you do this weekend?
Well, I had a few beers.
What?
I did though. That's the issue. That's like 3 weeks in a row.
I think we're 6 episodes
Well,
in.
We'll
Maybe
guess who
6
played
weeks in
bad
a
golf
row.
this weekend.
Hey, in my defense, beers could mean 1 or 2, and it could mean a lot more than that. The last couple weekends, it was more than 1 or 2. Before that, it was a little softer. But I shot off some fireworks with the kids after it sounds worse now that I'm saying it out loud. It was so dry out there too that it's like there's such an incredibly further hazard than I had thought before I just let that out of my mouth.
Oh,
That everybody's safe. Nobody got burned. We had a good time.
Jason Pierre fault out there.
There was something that happened. I'm sorry, I think it had to have been last Friday. That I wanted to tell you guys about, and I was gonna text you, but I just forgot. And so last Friday, I'm walking into work, and there's this. I'm coming up on like a cross street, right? Where this guy who works in the same building as me is about to cross the street, and we're gonna walk across the crosswalk at the same time. And I'm with a coworker, and this is a guy that like he's a super nice dude, super nice guy. Okay, we're like an acquaintance, but less than acquaintance. It's more like we might be in the elevator together and be like, hey, what's up? How about that weather? He's a how about that weather acquaintance.
I'd be like,
You know
"How
what I'm
about you go
saying?
up the
Like,
elevator alone."
yeah. Like we
I'm good.
don't
You
go to
ahead.
lunch together. We don't talk about anything. It's more like, hey, how's it going? Can't wait till the week's over. What's that weather like? Like he's that kind of guy. So me and this coworker at this crosswalk, and I see dude coming across, right? Heading right towards us. And I wish I was exaggerating, man. He'll never listen to this, okay? Maybe he does. I love you, dude. All right. You'll know who I'm talking about. But he's got like he's got this look in his eye, man. Like he really does. Like he's like walking across the street, like, and he's like excited. Like he's excited about something. And I didn't notice till he was like halfway across the street. But he's like almost to us, and he's like, like, and he's carrying this thing. And he gets there, and he's ready to like let it out. I'm just like, hey, like, hey. And he's like, did you guys get in on this drop? And I'm like, huh? He's like, did you get in on this? And he's like, Magic the Gathering. He's like, Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle Earth. Yeah, he didn't like he didn't do the voice.
Oh,
But that's what I heard in my head. Because he's like telling me this, and I'm like, like you guys know me. You know the 1,000 thoughts going through my head, dumb stuff like. Just like, hey, dude, I remember the first time I got laid, like stupid stuff like that. And I kind of look over to my coworker because I'm thinking, well, maybe they talk about this. And he's kind of looking back at me with the same look, like we're both like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't. No, I didn't hear about that. And you could just see. Just the visceral disappointment in this kid's face. Just like he was like jacked to like like upset to a little angry.
I mean, to him, it's his fault at that point.
But so
I mean,
we were the first people.
He
He probably this is 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
on probably the day it got released.
Uh-huh.
So like he's probably like, people I know, Magic the Gathering, Lord of the Rings. Like he's fired up.
I mean, you guys weren't
Legitimately.
lying.
No, we weren't there with him.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why would he think? Like, yeah, they must be
You
around
know,
here somewhere.
he was upset. It'd be like you know, and it's all good, right? Because you know, tons of people love Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Tons of people love Lord of the Rings. He probably thought, you know, put those together, it's gonna be just this amazing situation of like all these worlds coming together. But I thought, like, you know, to him, it'd be like if I was like rolling up to him and being like, dude, you know, like jacked up holding this thing, being like, I got this Barry Sanders autographed rookie card. You know, saying that to him, he'd probably be like, "Oh, you know, but can it beat the Elder Scrolls of North after a journey through the evil wood?" You know, something like that. It's like, you know, yeah, my Barry doesn't beat that, but
He did
it probably
rush
gets more
15,000
cash.
yards.
But it crossed my mind like a day ago because I'd forgotten, because I was so surprised at, like, I don't know him like that to where I thought he'd be excited to deliver this news to me. And it was just one of those situations where you're like, yeah, I would love to be excited with you.
So,
But, you know,
so what happened like right after that? Once you saw like the disappointment in his face,
I can
It's like I slapped
I can
him
tell
and I
you,
walked away.
he half he knew it went totally awry from what he had planned.
totally right.
It did. It did not go as he thought. Because I'm telling you, if you saw the look on this kid's face when he was crossing the road to get to us, like, he knew that was gonna be that was it. And we were gonna be like, oh fuck yeah. Or, you know, oh hell yeah, man. Like, this is, you did it, you got it before anybody else. I don't know.
Or you got the last
But
one.
I can
he's gonna
tell
be like,
you,
sorry guys, you can't get one.
9.9 times out of 10, he rides the same elevator that I ride on to go up to our offices. He took a different elevator.
Oh,
He went a different way. Like, there's one way to go straight forward to get to the elevators we ride onto our offices. Then there's another one off this way. And he went that way.
Man.
And so I was like, oh, I
Kinda
wish
feel
I
bad.
was there. I wish I was there for the
Boyd's
guy.
crazy, man.
But I had no idea. I had no idea
Right,
that
right.
Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle Earth, Magic the Gathering pack came out that day, dude. There's just no.
And then
So
he
if you're
bullied
hearing
that
this,
poor
man,
kid.
I think you're a good dude. I just, I still don't have the cards.
I wish you.
I'm not
busted
gonna
out the
get
deck.
them.
You're like, you mean these cards?
Yeah, I have all the special editions. It's like, you mean
You're like,
this?
I made him think I didn't know.
24 karat whatever guy. I
Yes.
can't even think of a guy.
Bruno Mars or what?
Yeah, sure. I don't know. But the weekend was basic. That was my last Friday. That's the only thing that happened
That's awesome.
over that time. I don't know.
I can just picture a dude just like walking across the
Oh,
street.
dude, that look. I was like, oh man, I'm sorry. I felt bad I let him down, but it's like, what can I do?
So
There's
have
nothing
you?
I could do.
Does he
Show
keep
some
giving?
interest.
I did. I was like, oh, that's sweet. But he knew I was full of freaking crap, dude. He knew because, like, instantly I'm just like,
to be like,
dude, I really did give it a shot.
I
I
know
just
you.
didn't have it.
give me a spell. He's like, does it work like that?
Yeah.
I know you, and I can see the face that you made.
I can
You're just like,
picture
sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Funny.
I gave it what I
Uh,
had on a complete surprise, but he knew.
That's
The
hey,
poor
you give
guy
it
knew.
so it's Tuesday. Is he still taking the other elevator?
I haven't seen him since.
Oh man.
Oh,
I
Oh
haven't
no.
seen him since.
you should get him a pack. You should go get him a pack. A cheap pack. Doesn't
No,
have to be the
dude, I don't know.
special
You think
edition.
that's a good idea?
No, I don't know.
So
I
He's
don't.
whatever I could
Maybe
get him, he's got.
exactly.
If he's there on the drop
Yeah.
for Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle Earth, you think I can get him something he doesn't
and
have?
I can tell you this: if he does listen to this, he don't want that deck of cards from you anyway.
Oh hell no!
You bully!
Hell no!
Yeah.
I'm
Jeez,
sorry, man. Like
Who are you, Ryback?
yeah. I don't know. How was your weekend, dude? Jeez.
Yeah. How's your weekend, Dean?
Oh man, like a broken record, played bad golf. I did shoot pretty well though. I shot a 101 over there. That wasn't bad. Pretty good for me. All 5s and 7s. Take it.
Making
No
your way
8s.
down. Making your way down.
Yeah, I was pretty happy about that. But yeah, overall, boring weekend. Ate a bunch of, or I did get food poisoning over the weekend. That was fun.
Jeez.
I woke up at 4:30 and just let it go. So
Like, oh, I shouldn't eat this 3-week-old Big Mac, but what can you do?
if you microwave it long enough, it's good to go.
It kills off all the germs.
That's what they say. Internal temp of 165, right?
Yeah.
The bread's just rock solid.
The lettuce.
Oh, this is so good.
Oh,
That mac sauce, baby, is 2 weeks
that looks
old.
like swamp tree lettuce. You're just like, if I heat it long enough,
I like my lettuce really wilted and soggy.
another
and hot.
40 seconds in the mic.
Another 40.
And the worst part about it, it's not even wrapped up. It's in one of those boxes.
Just in a box.
It's just in the box.
There's nothing protecting this sandwich.
I've been dry aging this Big Mac.
So somehow
Right.
I got food poisoning over the weekend.
So
and I'm not
somehow I don't understand. Yeah. So
Well, that's good.
yeah.
That's good.
Moving
Sounds
on.
like a good weekend. I had a golf trip this weekend where I played pretty poorly.
I feel like you always do on those trips.
Every time. I did shoot my trip best, which was like 92. When
Out of
you're
what?
playing, it's a par 72.
36.
No, that was 18. No.
Yeah. Shot 92 and 36.
But when you're playing with dudes who shoot 74 and 79 and 83 and like we play matches in our golf trip, so like there's 16 people and there's like 2 teams and we have different games and I'm playing Scott who he watches this podcast, I guess. So that was cool. Shout out to Scott for doing that. Appreciate that.
Take it easy, Scott.
Yeah, he knows how bad I play.
Yeah. Yes, he does.
Unfortunately. I'm sure he's talked about it.
Yeah.
It's legendary now.
6-man scramble is a 5.5 with Dean there.
Just a 5. You just completely cut me out of the equation.
Just a 5. He was there for the barbecue. Anyways, I'm playing this dude, and I'm not playing well. And we get past the front
What is
nine.
this match play? You're gonna
Essentially,
go
yes.
head to head with Scott?
Yeah, but you get a handicap. Like I had a handicap. His handicap was 5, mine was 24. So I was getting like a
It is
stroke.
what it
You know
is.
what I
That's the
mean?
handicap
Yeah,
score.
it
Yeah.
keeps it close. So I didn't play well in the front nine, and we get to 10, and I count up our scores through 9. The dude shot 1 under. He shot a 35. I shot like a 53.
With the
He's just
24?
He's like, I watched
Yeah.
you swing that club.
You shot a
lot."
53 with 24 strokes?
That's through 9. That's through 9. So I shot like a 10. It was bad. It was like 104,
Yeah,
106,
it's fine. It's
something
fine.
like that.
Were you the
So
worst person on the trip?
no,
Well,
no,
that's all right then.
but it's getting pretty close.
But you're not.
But I haven't
you-
played a lot this year either. I've only played like 5 times. Usually by now I've played every week since April. So it was still a fun time. It was a very good time.
Well, yeah, you can't go wrong with a golf trip, man.
I might as well plug Scott's Instagram. He does like a hunting thing, American Wild. It's pretty cool.
Does a lot of shirtless pics. And...
Yep. Yeah. If you go there, you see a lot of male nipple. So,
here we
You
go.
can get that here too if you want.
Play your cards right.
Yeah.
Episode 10 is gonna be
Play your
a doozy.
cards.
yeah, yeah. EP10 is gonna be an all nip episode. Throw a little cash this way. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much.
If this video gets to 1,000 views,
I will do an Oklahoma with Dooley naked.
oh god.
He's like, and I'm done talking to you guys.
And I'm out. I'm out.
It's like this was fun until that moment. And then...
So we'll go ahead and get this thing started real quick. We're not doing a lot of Tiger stuff today, so I just saw like an hour or two ago that Matthew Boyd's done for the season.
Yeah, but
So-
Manning started today, so it's like we lose one, we get one.
Right.
Right.
But they're just so unlucky.
And,
It's this. We're standing pat. I mean, honestly, and it's crazy because they beat the Rangers, which is I assumed we might get swept, and then of course they beat the Rangers, and they're playing them right now as we talk. So
Right.
I don't know how that's going, but yeah, not a
They
lot of
can-
Tigers going on there. It's really the same situation as the last week or two, honestly.
Right. They're up 2-0 at the end of the 5th. So
and they took the
Dang,
series
so
against the
Manning's
Twins,
doing
too.
it, huh?
yeah. Yeah. So they only have
That'd be
3.
huge.
They only have 3 hits through 5. So, anywho, so just wanted to point out he's gonna have Tommy John surgery, so he's done.
Oh yeah, he's out.
Yeah. Which by the time this comes out, everyone will know anyway. So, but
Breaking news.
live reaction. So with that said, we will go to the Detroit Pistons and welcome to Detroit Sir Thompson and Marcus Sasser.
Yes.
Welcome, fellas.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm not going to say who won, who picked the person that they were going to take, but that's a win for this guy.
Nice work, Dean. Nice work.
Nah.
You.
Nah.
I know.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That was a great choice. I mean, you nailed it, dude. I mean, we had talked about it last week. I was looking for Jarris, but we had said, I mean, I know I said that be excited or at least looking forward to seeing either Asar or Jarris being the guy. I mean, I thought Jarris was still the guy, but I mean, looking over it, I mean, Asar is a great choice. posted a highlight reel on TikTok of Asar's stuff. I mean, it made me think about it after you're talking about watching his highlight reel. And yeah, the kid's impressive,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, what'd you guys think?
Yeah, no, he's impressive. I mean, sure, it was. I thought it was a surprise pick because I mean, people said he could have gone at like 7 or 8 or even lower than that. But I mean, if that's the guy you got to take, so good on him. But I mean, that does kind of leave him short. I mean, well, I guess so. Beef Stew's going to be back in that starting rotation, huh?
I don't think so.
You got Wiseman and Duran starting.
No.
Ooh. He's got
Oh.
something up his sleeve. Or I see that smirk. I see that smirk.
Yeah, huh? You want to hear a little
Well,
something?
well,
Let's
before
go through the draft.
Yeah, let's get through the draft. Get through the
before yeah. So for me, we talked about last week. I like him a lot. Um, I think he's a good fit. I still, after watching some more tape, like I wouldn't have hated them if they had traded down and got Taylor Hendricks. But and it's Asar Thompson, right? It's not. It's Asar. Is that right?
I believe so.
Asar.
Yeah. Hmm?
Okay. We didn't get the easy one. We didn't get a men. So
Which I think when we had talked about it before, we had both been like we liked Asar better
Yeah.
than Amen. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Amen went before him, so obviously other teams liked him more. Or
Right.
Yeah.
the team before us did, but I mean, like you said before, I mean, Asar was the MVP of that league.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's
He was
got a
also
lot
the
of skills.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, he was also the Finals MVP too
Yeah.
for that league. So, I mean, talents there. I think it's almost like you said. Scoot was probably the most NBA ready. I think they'll to develop Asar a little bit, but
Yeah, I still agree that Scoot was the most ready, but I think they took another guy in Sasser who's also pretty NBA
yeah,
ready, at a spot where, like, if Scoot was projected to go back where Sasser went, like you would want Scoot there because you're looking for a backup, almost a backup guard or a guy who can
mhm,
slide in to start because obviously we've had injuries. We need to move past Killian Hayes. I got some stuff on some Short Reaver draft picks here in a sec, but I think Sasser is what we're looking for too. We'll
Mhm.
see what happens, but I mean, you think what do I have on Sasser here? I mean, he's a defensive guy. He's only 6'2", but he's got a 6'7" wingspan, which I think gives him that the steals that he's been good at. I mean, he averaged 1.6 steals. He's got a 1.95 assist to turnover ratio. His catch and shoot threes are 46%. I mean, that's the kind of guy you want coming off the bench after Cade and Ivy. So I feel like that was probably a good pick, especially
mhm,
defensively because the Pistons were 28th, I think, in total defensive rating last year. So I really
Mhm.
like the Sasser pick.
mhm.
Um, I don't know where are you guys at on that?
I, I mean, there's not much more that can be said about that.
Yeah.
I agree. I think he's a perfect person to come off the bench, especially early, and it's perfect for him, right? It's kind of a good fit for him because now you don't have. I mean, a late pick, you usually don't have that expectation, but on a team that had the worst record in the NBA, if you're drafted, usually, and you brought it up last week that you got to be ready to play, especially on a bad team. You don't have the luxury of being on a sweet team and, sitting there and develop, So,
Right.
I mean, he's going to have to develop, but he's going to log minutes. He's going to have to,
Oh yeah,
unless,
yeah.
you know,
I mean, you
and
can't have Curtis Joseph coming back off the bench or logging significant minutes. He's fine if he's like your third guy, but Cujo played significant minutes for us last year, and while he's okay, he can't be your second guy.
Right. Yeah.
You know, that's why I mean Sasser's a good pick.
yeah.
We got to have somebody there, and Sasser is also a guy who can play and contribute, probably more so than Asar right away. But honestly, after watching Asar's highlight reel after you suggested that, Bill, I'm
Mhm.
like, the kid's got freaking game. I mean, and
Yeah.
that's a reason why you go top 5.
Right.
But um,
Right.
the kid's got skills, man. And I hadn't
Yeah.
done the
Yeah.
background that you had before because I was very much in on Jarris.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, dude, kids got game.
Yeah.
Kids got serious game.
And and we'll see how it translates to professional, to the NBA. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother thing, but I mean, there's just too much raw talent there to not take him at the spot where they were at. So,
Yeah, yeah. I don't even know how raw Asar is. He's got some polish. The kid seems to have a head on him.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. There's something about him that feels like he's gonna. I'm not saying he's gonna be rookie of the year. I'm not saying he'll even be first team all rookie. But I think he's gonna contribute pretty significantly
Mhm.
for a rookie, and
Well,
I look forward to seeing what he does moving forward.
well,
Big
like you
time.
said, last week though, he's gonna have to.
He has to.
You know what I mean?
He
That's what
has to
that.
play.
Yeah.
It's
There's no.
it. Here's my hesitancy on some of the stuff, and this is what I want to get into with Troy Weaver and some of our draft picks that we've made since then, and the confidence that hasn't been built for me and probably a lot of the Piston fan base. I feel like his first draft pick, okay, Killian Hayes, number 7 overall, 2020. This is a guy who's got negative 1.2 win shares. Last year was negative 0.5, which was good for 534th in all of basketball. Only 5 players are below that.
So there's worse.
Yeah, there are 5 guys. The closest to him that played at least 70 games, which is he played a little over 70. The closest guy to him that played over 70 games was a guy named Kendrick Nunn, who
Mhm.
was 110 places ahead of him, who had a plus 0.2. And he played on 2 different teams. Now, granted, Killian had a career high last year with 10 points a game. But I don't know if you guys watched a ton, but I can tell you watching Killian Hayes sometimes is super painful.
Yeah.
The kid's just, he seems lost out there. A couple guys that, one guy, you just think, because a guy that got taken after him, Tyrese Halliburton, pretty much same position, same situation. This guy's got an 18 win share
Yeah,
average.
he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Yeah, 20 points a game. Tyrese Maxey also got taken after Killian Hayes. 14.6 win shares, 20 points a game.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was a rough choice. Beef Stew was his second pick. Uh,
That's right.
he's down in field goal percentage, even though he's working on that shot. He was at 44% field goal percentage. I think he was at 500 the year before that. Sadiq Bey was his next pick after, because he traded in and he got like 4 picks his first year as the GM.
Mhm.
Sadiq Bey was number 19. Obviously, Sadiq's gone. Saban Lee was his pick after that. Saban Lee's gone. 2021, Cade was the obvious pick, but he's only played 76 out of 164 games. His next pick after that was Isaiah Livers, who's only played 71 games out of 164 games. Balsa Kabrivika, who we traded Mason Plumlee and our number 37 pick for. He's only scored 2 points in 1 summer league game. He doesn't hang around. Luca Garza, after that, gone. 2022, Jaden Ivey fell into our lap. Honestly, it was Ivy or was it Keegan Murray? And Ivy was the pick because he actually wanted to come to Detroit. He's a position of need. Like, we got super lucky because he had told Sacramento the rumor was that he didn't want to go to Sacramento at all. So
Right.
number 4, they went with Murray. We fell, and lucky got Jaden Ivey. And I got to give credit to Weaver then because he did trade up and get Jalen Duren. So there is big props to that.
Mhm.
And then this year we'll see with Asar
So,
and
Are
trading
you
up for
saying
Marcus.
he's having trouble drafting?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Other than guys that are falling into our lap,
Yeah, no.
who's
I
still
agree.
on the team? Killian Hayes, who's 534th in the league in win shares,
He's gonna
and
turn it around.
Beef Stew,
He's already
who
turned it
shouldn't
around.
be a starter.
He
Cade
is.
was the obvious number 1 pick. I mean, you could have said Jalen Green, but I think Cade was clearly the number 1 pick.
Yeah, Jalen Green's pretty good though.
Yeah, no, he's good.
Yeah, he's
He should
good.
be. He thought he was going to the Pistons. I saw some video. He thought he was going number 1, but it was Cade. I remember at the time being like, dude, if it's not Cade, what are we doing? Like,
Right.
Cade was the guy. Livers, whatever.
I mean, he was a second
He
round pick,
should-
wasn't he?
Yeah, number 42 that year. But still, I mean, we're not finding anybody.
Right.
The only guys that are producing are guys that fell into our lap. And Cade's not even doing it other than Duren. Duren he traded up for and got him. And I remember being very excited when they did that. I was like, oh man, Troy's got it going. And then I started looking over all the stuff that's happened. And I'm like, dang, dude, we're,
learning on the job.
What do you mean? He spent all those years in Oklahoma. He was supposed to be that dude.
New city, bro. You just need time, man.
Hey, man, I want that to work out because it's not like I don't see why he picked who he picked. I mean, how do you not? Right at the time, you're like, okay, it's the next guy. Killian, I don't know. But Cade, you got to go with. When you get to Isaiah Livers at pick 42, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were going to take Halliburton in that draft when they took Killian. That would have been pretty sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it would have been. That'd be sweet right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Wouldn't have any of the guys we have now.
Of course, then again, we wouldn't have Cade. We probably wouldn't have gotten the number 1 pick. So, I don't know. There's a give and take, but it's like my give is, yeah, you picked where you picked, but my take is like we couldn't have sucked as hard either had you made better choices. And that is his job.
It's true.
To make good choices. So when I say I don't have a ton of confidence, like number 5 this year, it was Asar or Jarris. So I feel okay, right? Because he only had
Yeah.
he was a 50-50.
Right.
So it should be okay. And then, trading back in for Sasser, that makes sense. I haven't done the
Learning on the
background that
job.
Troy Weaver should have done, but it should be okay. I guess we'll see. I
Learning on the
want
job, my
Troy
man.
Weaver to work. I don't know if it will. And maybe his hands are tied by Tom Gores. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I can tell you the results aren't there. That's pretty obvious.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You don't even have to dig into the numbers. Like I just went through the draft picks. You don't even have to dig into that. All you gotta do is look at the record.
Right.
Be like, oh,
Right.
20 wins, 20 wins, 20 wins, 17 wins. Yeah,
Mm.
it's not
It's
happening.
pretty good.
You would think that this would be the year of a marked turnaround, right? If it's going to happen, either this year or next year, it's got to be you got to be contending at least for the division.
Contending.
At least, because
I don't
now
know how much.
you have a healthy Cade. Supposedly, I mean, from what I've read, he's healthy and ready to go. We'll see. You have Ivy, you have Thompson, all top 10 picks. You got Duran. I mean, you're pretty much now your core is there. You have a very, you brought it up before too. There's a very limited time for those guys to be together before they have to get paid.
Yeah.
And now you brought Monty in. We'll see what they do in free agency. That'll be interesting to kind of get into too. I didn't really think about that, but who do
Yeah.
they go with in free agency at this point now? I don't know if you have. I don't know
Oh,
in
yeah.
your what's the coach's name in Waterboy?
Coach Klein. Coach
Yeah,
Klein.
Coach Klein.
Coach Klein.
I'm gonna need that notebook. You don't want things to get physical.
um,
So-
so,
Dim's- Dim's
two
cheeks over
things.
there.
One regarding the draft, just as like a teaser for next week.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you guys because the draft got all these juices flowing. So
nudes, nudes for
yeah. No, I'm
everybody.
gonna send you
A
guys
scavenger hunt set
some
up.
DPs over the next two days, and I want you to judge which one you like the most. I'm gonna do different poses. I'm gonna
Oh, good.
I'm
I
gonna
need more.
shave it differently. We'll see what you like.
Does it look bigger? Or?
No, thinking about it, I thought biggest draft busts in Detroit sports history. So
I was
don't
yeah.
think about, don't say who you're thinking. I mean, there's a clear number one, right?
There's
That's
a lot.
probably it. I'm gonna send you 8 names separately. I'm gonna make my list before I give it to you guys, so I'm not, you know, convinced or my mind changed by your list. So I'm gonna make my list. Then I'm gonna shoot it to you guys, not my list, but like 8 names, and then next week I'll reveal the top 5 based on points, where you put them in your list.
Are they going to be the same names?
I'm gonna give you guys both the same names, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that.
And then you
were gonna
rank
make
them
a
1 to
list.
5.
I was thinking we were
biggest
going to do a
bust to
snake
least.
draft, and you were going to give us names
No,
that we could
no,
pick.
no,
Like,
no.
what is that?
No.
Like, what do you get?
Because
I'll
I
have
just
my
want to.
list. You
We
guys
all
have
do
this.
separate, like, of the same names. And if there's an extra name that you think should be on the list, just throw it in there then.
Like a
And-
rating vote.
Yeah. And I'll just base it off points where you rank them. And then we'll do a reveal of the biggest Detroit draft busts we'll say from like 1980 on. Okay.
Mm.
So it's like, more recent stuff. Cause you go back before then, it's like, it doesn't seem to have
You're,
moved the
you're
needle
already
as much
losing
back
me in the
then.
80s, to be honest.
Go from 84 then.
I could.
Steve Eiserman better be on that list.
That ain't no bust, bro. But also, I'll shoot you 8 names, at least ones that most people would recognize, and we'll go from there. And if you
Okay.
think of one that's more than that, then just throw it in the list, and I'll give it an extra point based on not having it on the list.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
This is
So
just
free
purely
agency for the
Pistons and
Pistons.
Lions,
I'm on
then?
a tangent, Dean. I'm on one of my
I see this.
tangents. So you can jump in anytime. So when free agency, when we were talking about beef stew, this has come up big time, like very recently, was Cam Johnson, which is Bill brought up very early on. But
Mhm.
the Pistons are linked like super hard to Cam Johnson. One reason, because he played for Monty Williams for 3 or 4 years. Another big reason, we have the cap space, which
Yeah.
is something I brought up before. The Nets seem to be looking at like a 4-year, $84 million deal when the Pistons can offer like a 4-year, $100 million deal because we have 27 million cap space. So it's like with Cam Johnson, Duran, Johnson, Thompson, Ivy, Cunningham. That's a pretty good freaking starting lineup. And does that mean we're definitely in the playoffs?
I would say that they are definitely in the hunt to win the division.
Mm.
I think he puts them right up there to at least win the division. I don't know about an NBA championship, especially with Ivy and Thompson being so young, I guess, or in their first and second year. I think the more they develop, but we also said you have that limited time, so I think that puts them within competing for the division, if not winning it. I think that's a realistic expectation
With Cam Johnson.
with Cam Johnson. Yes,
Cameron Johnson. I think he likes to go by
Cameron.
Cameron.
So,
what do you think, Debo?
I think of it a lot like the Thunder, where even with Cam Johnson, I still think they're still a year out, just in development wise.
From what?
From being a contender to win the division. I think they show improvement this year, with or without Cam Johnson, and then I think after 1 year as a unit, I think they could contend for.
So you think
the division.
Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, those guys are too much over there?
Garland's pretty good, man. So is Donovan Mitchell. I don't think they're too much, but I think our guys are still those are veteran guys at this point. Whereas our guys
so they're
are
too
1
much.
year
They're too much for our
like
guys.
early 20s. Not too much, not to beat us in not to sweep us in a series or anything like that. But I think they beat
They're
us
more
in
than we
7
can handle
series.
in a series in general.
Yeah, I guess so. That's how you want to put it. That's how we can put it like that. But yeah.
No, I'm not putting it that way. You are, sir.
Those are your words. But those guys are good, man. And the Cavs are an up and coming team as well. So I don't like it.
I didn't think about it. Maybe the division was a little much. Yeah.
The Bucks too.
Yeah.
You think we can take Giannis as opposed to Cleveland? Dean?
No.
We didn't
Giannis
even
by
talk about
himself, like
Giannis.
5-on-1. I think we could take a
Yeah,
5-on-1.
yeah,
I think we could do
5-on-1.
that.
Oh, we got we
We'd be
got
able to swing that a little
Giannis in a 5-on-1 for sure.
bit.
Do they bring?
But
I mean, Chris Middleton's another guy that's being linked to Detroit again, obviously. But would that
Do you think he'd
change
come
it
back? Do you think he'd come back to Detroit
for the
after we
money?
just kind of threw him away?
He's won a title. It's like, if you're gonna pay me the most, I mean, how many more titles are they gonna win in Milwaukee?
right,
Not
Right.
many more.
Maybe one.
I was gonna say maybe one or
Maybe
two.
one. That's about as good a chance if him. Well, I don't think he does it the way Cam Jordan does it. But uh, as far as where the Pistons are moving forward, um, like Cameron Johnson, I see us more as a middle tier ascending East team. With Chris Middleton, I still see us as like a 8, 7, 8 play-in team. You know, if that. Because the thing about with Chris Middleton is that he's just going to take minutes away from Asar when
Right.
he needs to be in the mix. I mean, that
Yeah.
kid needs to be playing. I mean, if we're supposed to do anything.
Do you think if they take Cameron Johnson, what do you think? Do you think they could at least contend for the division next season?
Do I think they're going to contend for? If they get Cameron Johnson, are they going to contend for the division? Probably not. They'll be up there. I mean,
Right.
they'll be a player in the game. I don't see us contending like significantly. Maybe finish the season 5 games back. If you call that contending, sure.
Yeah, I didn't
But
really I didn't really think about Milwaukee. So
yeah, Milwaukee's a
you
pretty
know,
serious team in our division. So
yeah. Yeah.
if we can get Giannis, then yeah, I'd put us right at the top. If they'll trade Giannis to us, then yeah, we'll be right up there.
That'd be sweet.
For beef stew and
I mean, Dean's got
Bogdanovich.
Cleveland at the top of the division right now,
That's true.
You
and
only
then
brought up
and then
Cleveland.
Detroit, and then Milwaukee.
Only brought up Cleveland.
So trade rumors. You
Trade
got
rumors.
trade rumors?
I do. Trade rumors leading into the NHL hockey draft, because the big, as far as I'm excited about two things, right? The one is we just talked about maybe Cam Johnson coming to the Pistons, which makes the Pistons ascend pretty significantly within their division. Maybe not at the top of the division, but it makes them ascend within the division, within the conference. And then another guy, when I move over to the Red Wings, somebody I've talked about before, I'm pretty excited about, because it seems like the rumors are becoming more and more solid, is to bring it to the Red Wings.
Right.
That would be such a big move for the Red Wings. Because I mean, after all the stuff we've talked about in the past, I mean, the scoring, we need his scoring. He wants to be a Red Wing. He's from Michigan. Like, the stars are aligned for this to happen. And the Red Wings have what the Senators are looking for. So it's like, if this doesn't happen, that would be a pretty serious bummer. The only thing with DeBrincat, I don't think it's not even close enough to stopping the Red Wings from doing it, is the Red Wings want to get bigger, like size-wise, as well as better offensively. And while he does bring it offensively, he's only like 5'7.5", 5'8".
Right.
He doesn't bring that size. But I think at the end of the day, when you got a guy who scored 66 points last season on the Senators, who also didn't make the playoffs, that's big for us, considering he would already be our second highest scoring player next to Larkin. So you put him right in there on the front line with Larkin, and you're talking about a pretty serious first line, at
Right.
least between forwards and centers. There's a couple other trades. I'll try and go through them real quickly. Another trade was Travis Konecny. Uh, you know, with Philadelphia, he scored 31 goals last year. He's got two seasons left on a $5.5 million deal, which is pretty cap friendly. And general pressure for the Wings. We're in a situation with Detroit teams where we got some pretty healthy cap space. So a lot of people are linked to Detroit teams. But he would be great. And I think if DeBrincat doesn't happen, that's probably the way they go. The Senators or the Flyers want the same thing as the Senators, which is basically a first, a second, and a player or a prospect. Unfortunately, with the Wings, we have that later second or first round pick. So we can still keep our number 9.
Right.
And move on. Another guy. I'll just do this other one. Brett Pess. The Hurricanes. He played for Carolina last year. They want a first round pick again. If they'll take the 17, like that would be good. He's a defenseman, but he's a right-handed defenseman, which I didn't even really realize till I really started looking into how important right-handed hockey players are, because the majority are left-handed. I did not realize that.
No, me neither.
And a right-shot defenseman, a right-handed defenseman, which would also play, the right defenseman, is something we need. And so ideally, they have a left-handed and a right. You have a mix of handed out on the ice, because you want guys to be able to take shots from either side, of the ice, on a nice slap shot type of thing. And we're, like most places, are short on right-handed defensemen. So he would be nice to grab, which, leading up to the draft is why we talked about Willander, who's a right shot defenseman out of Sweden, who's one of your guys because you love the Swedish Hockey League.
Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm. Big fan.
So that was some of the trade stuff. I mean, that was obviously mostly Wings, but I just thought, leading into the Wings draft, that's really what we're looking at. There's always a couple Lions things. I got one that popped up recently was, I don't know if we want to go into the Wings draft before we get into like a Lions trade situation, but
no, we can bring up the Lions here in a little bit. So who do you think they take? Do you have an idea?
Well, originally I thought it was Hanzik, right? I mean, when we talked about it before, but I looked at a ESPN mock draft, and they got Hanzik going like number 30.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I was like, holy crap, dude. So they're looking at, Matthew Wood, which fits what they're looking for, because he's 6'3", so he's a big dude. He's right-handed. They say he's a good skater. I still like Benson, who brought up before, Dvorsky, or Willander, who I just mentioned before. Most of these guys are left-handed. Again, and they're looking for right-handed scorers, if they can get them. And then 17, I just because I talked about him before, I'm still hoping for Hanzik, but they might trade that pick,
right,
before we even get there. And ESPN had Otto Stenberg, which also makes sense, because he played with Edvinsson, who was our one of our top pick 2 years ago in Sweden. And, we got an affinity for Swedish players. So they played together. They've probably seen a ton of tape on the guy, and I think that's why they threw him in there on ESPN. I mean, I don't really know, but that's just what I saw. So
right. So we'll just do a guess, and who do you think we'll see who's right again. Who do you think they go with Was it Wednesday night? Tomorrow night?
I don't know. I was wrong last time. Do you know?
No,
Last time
I
I
don't
thought
know.
the NBA draft was the day after we were recording,
Oh
and I was
no,
wrong.
I think it is. I think it is. I think it is tomorrow. I mean, it doesn't really
Before
matter.
it's-
What's today? Is today
Yeah.
the 27th? Yeah, it
Today-
is tomorrow. It is tomorrow.
Today's Sunday.
It's Sunday.
Yeah, right.
It's July. It was 4
So-
days ago, bro.
I think it is tomorrow.
Yeah. So you're at the podium. Who do they take if they're available? Obviously.
Me?
Yeah.
I guess I got to go with Wood,
Wood?
the guy that ESPN mocked to him. Yeah, Matt Wood. I
Okay.
hate that they have to wait on development with the guy, but he is what they're looking for.
He's a big dude.
Size, offense, right-handed. I mean, that's kind of what they're looking for. So, yeah. I mean, I guess Matt Wood makes sense.
Okay. Dean, you have an idea?
I think they trade those picks for DeBrincat.
Both?
Both?
At least one of them.
Well, hopefully
I think they trade
17.
that first one for sure. I think the first one's got to be involved
You think so?
for that guy. I think so. I was reading up on that as well, where both of those picks were locked in for DeBrincat, but specific guys have to be available at those picks for the Senators to take. That's the only way they'll take. It's like a handshake agreement that they have.
I mean,
So we'll see. I mean,
if you
those
can
guys
get
have to be there.
DeBrincat, I mean, if we could draft DeBrincat at number 9,
Right, we would.
yeah,
If we knew that
You
was the
know,
production,
I
he was gonna
mean,
give us.
and he's a young guy still,
Yeah,
and
yeah, he's
he'll
only like
pair.
25.
He should pair great with Larkin.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd be the first 40 goal scorer. I mean, he didn't score 40 last year, but he has scored 40 goals. He'd be the first 40 goal scorer that we've had on our roster since Hossa in 09.
He's got multiple seasons of 40 goals, doesn't he?
I think
two
two.
or three.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, that says something. And playing with Larkin, I mean, he had some good scores with him in Ottawa. I mean, he scored 66 total points, and he was 4th on his team.
that's true.
He got who's that? Kachuk, one of the Kachuk kids. Stutzel. I don't know, but I mean, he's a good player. He's a good freaking player.
Yeah.
And he's in a definite need. I'm not so sold on why you have to have the size. If you're producing, then
It shouldn't matter.
what's it matter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's scoring 40 goals, you know what I mean? I don't care if he's freaking 5-1.
Oh, dude.
You know what I mean?
We get 40 goals out of somebody, we're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I think they go with, if he's available, Benson, but I'm with you that it's probably going to be Matthew Wood. But Dean, I didn't even think about that. That's a hell of a
It's
hell
just
of
what I
a
read,
yeah.
so.
Yeah, trade
No,
them both.
that's perfect. That's a perfect, like, yeah. Because if that happens,
I mean,
that'd be pretty.
If they could
that'd
get
be pretty
away with just trading one, I mean, that'd be ideal. But
right.
Oh,
I think to get
yeah.
them, they have to trade them both.
Yeah.
It depends what other teams are offering. Not many other teams have 2 first-round picks.
It's true.
So
Yeah.
maybe we have to give up number 9. I don't think we have to give up both.
No?
I don't think so. I don't think they're going to have to. Because I
What do
don't
you
think there's
package
another
it? Do you
team that
think
can
it'll
give
just
them
be-
2 as well as we have. So like I don't think there's a team in the top 8 who can give them something better.
It's true.
I don't think. But I don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Maybe they could package a player with
Jeez.
other teams. Whatever. I don't know.
Right.
Right. Okay. Well, we shall see. The draft, I believe, is tomorrow, like I said. So, do you think DeBrincat come to Detroit,
I think DeBrincat would come to Detroit.
or would like to be in Detroit? It is hockey town,
Oh,
so
100%. I mean, he grew up
Yeah.
in Farmington Hills.
right,
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's one of the teams on his list that he would like to go to.
right. Well,
So,
yeah,
like,
you come to hockey town. That's
yeah,
that's what you want to do.
I think
It's the only
I think he's
Detroit
all
sport
about
where
it.
the players are like, "Yeah, I want to go to Detroit." Everywhere, every other sport, they're like, I'm not going. I'm not going to Detroit."
Not maybe not with
Detroit.
now maybe not with the Lions now.
Maybe not now.
Maybe not.
They got to do something though.
It depends. I think there's sometimes the Pistons have hit some rough years, but there's at least a history of some championships where, like, I was talking to a guy that I work with who's a big Atlanta Hawks fan. He goes, "Well,
Mhm.
at least Detroit has like that, like some of that championship history." Like he's
Yeah,
like, "We really just don't have that." And
that's true.
so, I mean, sometimes I think that plays a little bit. Obviously, we're if you're a stud free agent, picture yourself, Dean, as a top free agent right now.
I mean, I am.
You'd rather go to Atlanta.
Yeah, I'd probably
Yeah,
play.
there's just more promise there. But if you're thinking long
Are
term,
you
I mean,
talking
maybe
about
you would
for you talking football or just any sport in general?
basketball, basketball,
Oh, basketball.
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 Yeah,
No.
talking about the Hawks. I mean, wouldn't you rather probably long term play for the Pistons as opposed to the Hawks? I mean, just based on history, I don't know. I think so. You at least know what's gotten done here.
I mean, I know that's what I would pick, but that's mostly because I'm just
Yeah,
biased.
I mean that's what I'm saying. We got to buy it.
That's what I
so.
would want. Yeah, for sure. If I was from Atlanta, I'd probably think different.
Well, yeah, if you grew up in Atlanta, yeah.
Right.
What about that kid from Montana who became the MVP of the league?
Right. Where does he? Who's his favorite team?
Would you rather go to Atlanta or Detroit? Probably Atlanta. I mean, right
Probably
now, Atlanta.
Based on
Right
weather.
now, Atlanta.
If you're from Montana, you're like, I want to go to a city. You don't want to go to Detroit.
Detroit City?
Yeah, it's a city. It's there.
Detroit's becoming a
Atlanta, though.
destination.
Yeah.
It's becoming a place. Yeah, it's becoming a place where dudes want to go, especially especially right now with the hype of the Lions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's people that want to come to Detroit. There's fans that want to be Detroit Lions fans.
Yeah.
But they can't be.
Friggin' bandwagoners.
They're not allowed to be fans, so they leave.
Can't be fans of my team.
They're all just old Cowboys fans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And now they're just moving on.
You talking about America's team?
Well, with them being like the media darlings right now, you know what I mean, and everybody wanting them to like really be good, or that everybody says they're being good. Do you think like if the Lions were to make like a big run into the playoffs, maybe like conference championship, not even a Super Bowl win, but like, do you think they could replace like have a meteoric rise the Cowboys as the America's favorite team?
Well, maybe. Not specifically in that situation, no. Because I don't think Dallas is America's team. I think Dallas is the
You
NFL's
think
team.
the Patriots are?
No.
Well, I'm talking.
In fact, I'm
just
gonna say a
that sense,
team.
then.
I'm gonna
In that
say a
sense, if it's the
team
NFL's
that I
team.
think is America's team is not one you're gonna want to hear, but I think is true is probably Green Bay.
You think?
I think so. I think America's team in general is probably a Midwest team, one that circles the wagons, so to speak. It could be Buffalo. After I said that, could be Buffalo. I think Green Bay has been for a long time. I don't think Dallas is. I think Dallas is the team that was branded America's team and is a popular. It was flashy for a little while in the '90s. I don't think they're America's team.
Okay, well,
I
if
think
they're
they
the
got that
NFL's
moniker.
team, do you think the Lions place them as the NFL's team?
No, I think the Lions
In the
could
sense
be
of like they'll
America's
push
team.
them like that.
I think the Lions could be America's team, not the NFL's team.
Oh, well, good.
I'm saying if we're talking about the Cowboys, I don't think they're America's team. I think it's probably Green Bay because they're more down home, whatever. They've had whatever going on. They've been a perennial championship caliber team since we started having Super Bowls. And they're Midwest. They're just down home kind of people. And I think that's why a Midwest team would be America's team. So if Detroit makes it happen over this year and maybe next year, I could see that. But as it stands, I know that was like, why do you have to go through that whole thing? Just just to say that. But it was like it's because I've always felt against that Dallas is America's team because I just don't maybe in 94 through 97 or whatever, you know, maybe
Uh,
they were. But I
There's a
think
lot
they
of
were
Cowboys
more
fans.
I run into more
there
Cowboy
are, but I
fans
think
than
that's the
American
NFL. I
fans.
don't think that's as much America as it is the NFL. I think Jerry Jones is like the godfather of the owners, and I think he kind of runs a lot of stuff. He's kind of like the power maker behind the scenes for the owners.
Mm.
And Dallas had a great run. I think they got it. I don't know. I don't see them. I don't see like Dak Prescott as like America's quarterback. I don't see, I don't who else is on there? Micah Parsons? I mean,
Right.
I don't see like America's team is more like that's a relatable type of dude. Like when they were hitting it back in the day, you had Emmett Smith, you had Troy Aikman, who was kind of like seemed like a down home kind of dude. Michael Irvin came from his situation in Miami. Like, like it was just like a mix of guys who made it. Which is always any successful team, right? It's usually a mix of guys who made it, but they were also very popular and outspoken people, and they were from different parts of the country, and it wasn't like super common in the '90s or before that to like have these type of characters on a team. But now it's pretty normal.
So there's two separate things to this, right? So y- I agree that the NFL pushes the Cowboys because I mean, game of the week every week they call it. Almost every week on Fox, they are the game of they call themselves the game of the week. Every week, it's usually the Cowboys. It plays at 4 o'clock. So I agree that I think the NFL pushes them, but I also think that they have the majority of fans. I think the most fans are Cowboys fans as far as number. You know what I mean? Like, there's more Cowboys fans than Lions fans. You know, I'm just using the Lions as an example, but I would think that, and I don't. I mean, I guess I would have to look up the numbers on it, but like as far as jersey sales and things like that, but you would think that technically that would be America's team as far if you have the most fan base, most fans in a fan base. You know what I'm saying? I think, but I think you're right. I think the NFL, they're definitely NFL's team. Jerry
Hmm.
Jones definitely runs something that we don't know about. You know, whatever the case may be.
To
Um,
me, yeah.
I think the Detroit could become America's darling. Like they're the underdog, but you almost see that with almost any team when they start becoming good, like the Bengals. a lot of people were rooting for the Bengals.
Mm.
So, and if you're like in Eddie in your situation, if the NFL's team is America's team, right? That's who they push. That's who the next one up would probably be Kansas City.
For sure.
But I think you're right. I think Jerry Jones has a ton to do with it.
Good marketing.
Billionaire,
Yeah, I mean,
prominent figure.
they've been they did a good job, back when, like I said, the 90s, when things really took off, they hit it at the right time, and they had a good mix of characters that push them. I'd be interested to see who has the most fans in America. Because I would bet the Patriots have pushed that since then. I would bet the most hated NFL team is probably also the Cowboys because of that.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you're the most liked and the most hated, are you the
You're
team?
like John Cena, baby.
Polarizing.
They're
America's most polarizing team. There you go.
Ruthless aggression.
Yeah, but I just, that's why I say Green Bay, because I just feel like in a general sense, I feel like people, when they tune in, when the Green Bay's on a prime time, they tune in. People don't hate the Packers other than us division rivals. And
no one likes the Packers outside of Green Bay.
I mean, maybe so. I don't know.
70s show, man. That probably got him some love. Just
I love Wisconsin.
Yeah.
When we break it down, I just don't know. I want Detroit to be able to be America's team. I just don't think they ever could be.
No.
It's Detroit. Just say the city name, and people just won't. They won't make it. They won't make it America's team.
You're not wrong.
But like I said, I think they'd be America's darling. Like, I think if they have a run next year.
For a year. Like if we made a run and won the Super Bowl, like people would be all about it. After that, people would be over it.
Right.
They don't want to see a Detroit Lions dynasty. They want to see, oh, look at those poor Lions.
They finally,
they finally got one. Yeah. They got one. Good for them. Like, oh, we're so happy for you. And then, like, oh, don't win again. Ugh. But that's what's wrong with you. Didn't you get one?
Anybody?
Oh,
what's wrong with you?
You know what I mean? Like if the Bengals won a Super Bowl, like I'd be like, you know what? Good for them. They've suffered long enough. But if they were to,
you would.
Like, now,
I'm talking about general people. As a football fan, yeah, you don't want to see the same team win unless it's your team.
Right. Yeah.
Every single
Patriots
year.
Fans were happy for 10 years.
But like, hey, dude, I never knew a Patriots fan until they started winning championships. And then there's a ton.
Right. I know one guy in particular.
Yeah, that obviously brings on the haters. He knows who he is. Yeah. I mean, that obviously brings on the haters too. But at the same time, I mean.
Yeah. Why not root for a team?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I've been rooting for a team that's been losing for so long.
Yeah. I didn't like the Patriots.
I think I was more jealous than hatred for the Patriots. Just like, man, I definitely won every year.
There was definitely jealousy. I don't think I ever hated them. It was just like I'd rather have somebody else win. And I think that's how a lot of people are. They're like, if my team's not winning, let's just have like some variety or whatever. But if a team's winning however many Super Bowls in however many years, you're like, okay, great.
Right.
Good for you guys. Dude, why don't you go somewhere else?
You go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know.
I agree. You know, speaking of the Patriots, when you bring that up, the first thing I think about is like their alternate jerseys, the red ones
Mhm.
with the old school
Those are cool.
Patriot on the side, the white
Yeah.
helmets. I like those better than their modern ones, for sure.
The red
For
ones are
certain.
sweet. For
Yeah.
certain.
For certain. For certain. But are they as sweet as the blues? Are
Yeah.
they as sweet as those blue, beautiful Lions alternate helmets?
Mm.
They will be until we get jerseys to match.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. The blue helmet with the all grays.
But
I mean, it's
seeing the
not.
helmet, I was like, that's pretty sick, bro.
I thought it
Yeah.
was, but people have been hating on it though.
Yeah.
Oh
Hating on the
yeah.
lion for being too
They're like,
skinny or
oh,
whatever.
it's
It's
so
like
skinny.
it's a freaking 1930s logo, dude. Like, what do you think? You just threw
Yeah.
that
I don't
together.
know.
Yeah. No, I agree. I would even say the grays would be all right if they had more blue on them,
Yeah.
like
Mm.
stripes down the side or whatever. You know what I mean? Something that incorporates more blue than just the helmet.
I wish I could
Right.
wear them with the whites.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Or
would
the
be
Originally, when I
perfect
saw them, I'm like, oh, that'll be pretty sick with the whites. Um, but they can't. I guess they have to wear them with their gray color
because
rush.
it's just the alternate, whatever.
Yeah, something. And I love that they did it too because blue helmets. I don't think we've had a blue helmet since 19. I was trying to look it up, but it was like 1960s something. We're talking. I love the message they're sending because that logo is championship years logo. Blue helmet, championship years helmet. They're trying to. I feel like they're trying to say we're going to that, right? At
Mm,
least that's what I'm hoping. Like that's the message. I think they're
right.
sweet. I hope they're not just sweet to be sweet, but that it's also like this is where we're heading. Be ready because we're taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
That's my hope. And I mean,
right.
there's nothing that a helmet can do about it, but you know, you hope that's where we're going.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know. I was pretty jacked about it, man.
Yeah. I thought they were sick.
You were
Yeah,
right. You were spot on, pretty much.
almost. I said
Almost.
Portsmouth Lions, which
Yeah,
we were never the Portsmouth Lions.
that's
We're the
true.
Portsmouth Spartans
Spartans, yeah.
in red
But
jerseys.
you were
They were
right
red for a
with the
while.
logo. Yeah, there was like
That's the one I was thinking of. Was the one that they showed, but I said Portsmouth Lions, and
yeah. Yeah.
um, just a
No.
dummy.
Um did you see there was a video that it was by the Lions that they had a couple players come in and to see the helmet. It was Hutch and um Motor City Dan. He was in there.
Talking about the tight
Dan,
end, Dan Campbell,
yep,
former
yep.
Lions tight end.
Former Lions tight end Dan Campbell. He was like, "Oh, that's pretty sweet. That's pretty. I just want to get back to work. I gotta
Yeah,
get these
dude,
guys
you could
ready."
just tell. Like he's like, oh yeah, yeah. He's like, deep down, he's like, I don't give a shit about a freaking helmet.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
bite a kneecap right now. Like
Man,
he's
Yeah.
pissed off. Not pissed
that's
off.
pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Back to practice, man. So, um, and then Hutch was in there, and then um,
St.
Amon
Brown,
St. Brown.
sun
Amon.
god,
Amon Ra.
the sun god. Amon Ra. You know,
Yeah.
he's gonna have a chip, man. That's one of the things I love about him. I think that's one thing all Lions fans love about him because I think we all have that chip, right? We all got that like you're overlooking us because we've sucked, or you're overlooking us because we haven't done it or whatever. Right. But it's like, we know we're good enough to do it. So stop, stop looking over us, man. Okay.
Yeah.
And Amon-Ra St. Brown is that dude that epitomizes all of that.
Yeah.
And I hope he keeps that chip on his shoulder, because you guys probably saw some of this. CBS Sports did their top 100 players. Uh,
Uh-huh.
16 wide receivers were ranked ahead of Amon-Ra. He was number 83 on the list. So we only had 2 guys on the top 100. Sewell at
Right.
66 and
Mhm.
St. Brown at 83. I
That's
just
insane.
want to roll through real quick the receivers that were taken ahead of Amon-Ra. A lot of these guys make sense.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, there were
Mhm.
7 and 12. Jamar Chase, 16. Devontae Adams, 17. Stephon Diggs, 20. Cooper Kupp, 26. AJ Brown, 47, which I'd take AJ Brown above a couple of those other guys. DK Metcalf, 55. Debo Samuel, 57. And then we get to a point where I'm like, he could have been over these guys for sure. Garrett Wilson, 63. You're going to put Garrett
Really?
Wilson above Amon-Ra. Terry McLaurin, okay, maybe, but
Terry.
he's 68. Devontae Smith, okay, I guess. Chris Olave, 72. And then T. Higgins, which I thought T. Higgins was above a lot. I put T. Higgins around the same area as I put Amon-Ra.
Right.
Like,
Mhm.
like T. Higgins is legit, dude.
He's
Yeah.
good.
And then Amon-Ra came in, at number 83 after all those dudes. But you're telling me, I mean, I would take him, I mean, as a Lions fan, not as just a football fan. As a Lions fan, I would take him pretty much over all these guys because of what he means
Mm-hmm.
and the attitude he's brought and just what he means to the franchise. But as
I
a
agree.
football fan, I would put him over. Maybe because we watch him, but I would take him over Debo. But
Yeah.
Debo is a
I
pretty
think so
dynamic
too.
guy. I mean, he takes out of the backfield. But after
Yeah.
that, at least ahead of Garrett Wilson at 63,
Yeah.
I would definitely take him over Garrett Wilson right
Wasn't he
now.
like wasn't he top 5 in multiple receiving categories too? St. Brown,
Dude,
not Wilson.
Amon-Ra is towards the top in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I also wrote down the stuff for Sewell, and I don't know if it makes sense to even mention the guys. I don't know. I don't see a guy that you couldn't be like, okay, yeah, you could rank him over Sewell at tackle. I mean, Sewell is still
Right.
number 66 out of 100 players in the league.
And
That's pretty
he's in
solid for a guy.
he's in year 3 now. Yeah.
Obviously, I put both those guys 1 and 2 as key to the Lions being who they are. Um, so Sewell 66 makes sense to me. I guess there's a couple guys you could probably put him over, but I think you're kind of being nitpicky. And then the only other guy that came close was Hutch, who was honorable mention. After that, nobody else. So we had
Right.
2 guys plus 1 honorable mention. I don't know. I hope Amon-Ra looks at that list. And
He
you
has.
can't be mad at oh yeah. You can't be mad at Justin Jefferson being
Right. Yeah.
top 10 guy, Tyreek Hill,
Cooper Cup.
who's won Super
Guys like that.
Bowls. I don't know. Cooper Kupp, I think, is debatable now.
Now,
He had that one amazing season with Stafford, and then after before and after that, he's pretty pedestrian. He's a really good receiver, but he's not like I don't know if I would take. I
he's not
wouldn't
gonna
personally take him over Amon-Ra.
he's not gonna
Right.
amaze you
Right.
over, but it's not crazy to pick him over him. I don't think. I
It's
agree
not.
with
No,
you.
no,
I
no.
just don't
It's
think
not crazy.
to pick him over.
It's not crazy. Um, so there was a couple other things I wanted to get into. After that, we were talking about trades. One guy that's been linked to the Lions is Hunter Renfrow. From the
Okay.
Raiders. He let's see, I had some stuff to, he's only 1 year removed from 100 catch, 1,000 yards, 9 TDs. Then obviously Devontae Adams came in
Right.
and he went down to 330 yards and 2 TDs. I mean, because they were chucking it to Devontae. I mean, why wouldn't
Yeah.
you?
Right.
But for at least 6 games, he could be your 4th receiver.
He's a good slot
third
guy.
receiver.
You need it.
Yeah, I mean, you throw him in there. He's a dependable guy. He was a little hurt last year.
He's quick. Probably can return kicks if you need him to.
You probably wouldn't have to give a lot to get him. The Raiders don't really need him. They brought in Jacoby Myers and DeAndre Carter in the offseason. So, I mean, he's probably on his way out, and I think that's why he's linked.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it depends what you're gonna get for him. Go ahead with your next one because
they think that'd probably be a day 3 pick that you'd give up for Renfro. That's what they project. They as
4th
those
or
in
5th
the
or something.
yeah, dude, a 3rd day. Like that's worth
Maybe even
it.
a 6th.
Probably.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like the Raiders don't need him. It's just one of those things. Too bad. There's a couple other things. I don't know if you guys had anything more serious to bring up, but I did want to talk about last week. Did you guys hear the details of the JMO suspension?
A little bit.
Not really.
A little bit?
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, there's been talk like, shouldn't they reduce the penalty? Because I don't know if you heard, like, I was shocked to hear this because I'm like, well, dear Lord, how's the guy supposed to know? His bet that he placed on the NFL was at a hotel when the Lions were on the road.
Yeah.
Like,
But
it wasn't at
considered a
Allen
team
Park.
facility, yeah.
Yeah. Like, how freaking stupid is that?
I thought it was a college game.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It could have
he bet
either
on a college
way.
Which would make it even worse.
Well, it would make it worse. But 6 games for
Yeah.
betting on a game at a hotel on the road?
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah,
weren't
he's
even in
thinking to
Detroit.
himself- right. He's thinking to
Yeah.
himself, I'm not at a team facility or anything. I'm just in my hotel room. But when you're on the road with your team like that, it's considered
And a rookie.
team facility. Yeah. But now they're talking about lowering his suspension because they were being super hypocritical about, oh, they should know. And then they're like, well, maybe we could have been better about informing these kids. Like, what? Like,
Dude,
you
I mean,
definitely suspended people for this. Like,
I mean, because at first you're like, come on, man. Like, people around him, like, working for the Lions should have been more informed informed him better on policies within Allen Park and the training facilities and at the stadium and whatever. But you placed a bet at a hotel on the road? Give me a freaking break, man.
there's
Like,
no way.
I chalked it up to immaturity at first, but it's like, how would he even really know that unless they were like, before he went to the hotel, like, hey, don't place bets.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Here in Arizona or wherever the hell they were.
Yeah.
Dude, that drove me nuts. I'm like, and I felt bad because I kind of shit on him in my head when I heard the news.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But my favorite piece of news from the week before that I didn't get to was a Father's Day situation with Jordan Love, where he told the Bears Happy Father's Day on his social media.
Yeah.
Like, what an idiot, dude. You just told them they're your dad.
Yeah, that didn't come out the way you
That was the
intended it.
exact opposite he was thinking. Like, dude, why are you such a dumbass? Why would you? He posted that for the world. Happy
Ugh.
Father's Day, Chicago Bears. Like, dude, you just started out so terribly.
That's
Like, it couldn't start out much worse than that. I don't know.
And
I just thought
even his intent is not great. Like
Yeah.
you wouldn't be their father anyway.
awful.
You
Yeah,
haven't played them. You've been sitting the bench.
Oh, that's that's so much of it that makes it great. Is like, I'm gonna tell them that I'm their daddy, even though I've never played them. And here comes a message on Father's Day. I'm gonna freaking roast them, and then I tell them Happy Father's Day. Like, dude, that is so stupid. You couldn't do anything about that before you put it into the nation, into the world. Like, you didn't think about that before you posted
Watch,
it.
he's gonna come out and just light it up too.
He might. They keep
he
becoming
might.
a dark horse. I keep seeing, like, they might sneak into the playoffs, which they might.
They could.
America's team.
It could
It'd be,
very well could be.
I hope it's not 4 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in a row. It'd be.
Some people are spoiled, bro.
They're lucky. They just know how to draft quarterbacks.
You know?
If he turns out, they just know how to
Yeah.
draft him. That's just what it boils down to.
We had a damn near Cy Young lineup in Detroit, and we couldn't win a freaking World Series.
No.
Nope. Yeah.
We were spoiled.
We were
Didn't know
spoiled. Didn't know it at the
We
time.
didn't know it then, though.
So, all right.
Yeah,
Well, do you have any other Lions stuff that you'd like to bring up tonight?
Oh, who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was interesting. I was just looking on ESPN today. They were doing the biggest surprises of the offseason workouts, and they were talking about Melifonwu really kind of showing out. And I was like, man, we got quite a logjam up
At
there at
safety?
safety.
That's 5
Melifonwu, Walker, CJ, Branch, Kirby.
Yeah.
I mean, CJ's probably going to play a lot of slot and corner, but I mean, you still got Walker, Melifonwu. I mean, Branch, he takes the automatic back seat because he's the rookie, unless he shows
Right.
out. And then you got
Right.
Kirby.
It's gonna be the
That's
freshest
the last
safety group
Lions
in the
thing I
league.
got. But
No, yeah, it's a good problem to have
oh, dude,
for certain.
put some of those guys at corner for certain.
Or-
Because Mosley's probably gonna go down. I hate to put that on him, having him never played a snap in a Lions jersey, but he's got that injury history. So having CJ be able to slide in there, Jerry Jacobs as your third or fourth guy is great.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he was our first guy coming up before, or Oruwariye. Well, the beginning of last year, we didn't know it was an ugh.
Right.
I thought it was
Right.
gonna
Crazy.
I thought he was gonna be our guy.
Anything Kirby could take. I mean, any of those guys could take a huge dip.
100%.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For certain.
For certain.
Most definitely.
All right. So we are getting close on time. So we will do our last segment, which is this or that. I think we're going to be debuting a new segment next week at the end. I have it in the works. Yeah, just gotta.
Oh, here we
yeah,
go.
I think you guys are gonna like it. I think you guys are gonna like. And guess
He's
what?
like, show it or grow it. It's the new segment.
What if you're neither?
Oh man. So I got 3 this or that's this week. So You guys ready?
Ready,
Yeah.
man.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll start.
Hope you're ready.
Okay. All right. Either you've got to take one bath with someone else's bathwater. Random person. Random person.
Hold on. Is there a TV at the end of the tub? Are there
Is it-
family video DVDs?
You know what's yeah. No, what's more important to know is it a flat screen mounted to the wall, or is it like a 16-inch VHS included TV screen? Because it elevates the situation to quite another level.
Okay. So there's definitely a there's definitely a 16-inch VHS in there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man.
What's the other option?
What's the other option?
That same bathtub, there's only one bar of soap that you have to use till it's gone, and you have to share it with that same random person, and he
That's
always
the other,
Wait,
leaves
before-
hair on the
that's the
soap.
other option.
So
Either
you get in after they're done, or you
Yep.
get in at the same time, and you have to wait till the bar of soap is gone.
No. You have to
You're
share
gonna
a
be in
bar
the
of
shower a long time.
The guy's like, "Oops, I dropped the soap out of the tub." Guess it's gonna take a while.
Oh, I threw my back out.
Oh no!
But in the shower, he's standing like he's too close in line behind you. So if you move-
You're like,
Hey,
there's
man.
another 3 feet of tub here, bro.
No, it's not sharing a shower. It's you either have to. This is all I always say for a year, right? A year is a good base for it. So for a year, you have to take baths with that other person's water,
Okay.
or
Okay.
you have to. The only way to wash yourself, and you do have to wash yourself, is with a bar of soap that you guys have to share, not at the same time. You can take separate baths. It'd be super weird for a year. Just like, all right, let's get it.
It's time to shower, dude.
Hey, it's that time.
let me lather up this pube soap real quick.
Oh man.
So you just have to share a bar of soap for a year with the person
Yeah, but that person
who
leaves.
VHS jizzed into the tub. In the other scenario.
And the other scenario is for a year you have to share bars of soap that he leaves pubes on.
I'm doing the
Okay.
bar soap. But
Yeah, dude.
I
just
mean, yeah, they're
wash off
both
the bars.
terrible.
Look at that. just rub it off. Now it's me now. I got his pee.
You're gonna use your hands to rub that off?
What am I gonna use my
Why don't
body?
you just use your teeth, bro?
Oh,
No,
yes.
why don't you just hold it under the shower until it slides the
No,
pubes
I mean
off?
like after the pubes off. I mean like I just like rub the outside, like you know what I'm saying?
On your
So,
body?
Oh, just on my hands, so I have puby hands. Then I wash them off, and now it's just my soap.
Ugh. Well, yeah, dude. I mean, who doesn't choose the bar of soap?
Unless I see a
you'd
chunk
What kind of
corn on-
freak chooses the bathwater, man? Like, nah. Let me get in that.
All right, let me
that
get my hair wet.
The
Scooping up a
VHS
cup of
frickin'-
floaty and just pour it all over your face.
Just get a cup and just
Just like get some in your mouth.
Oh. Oh man.
Oh man.
Oh.
What are you choosing the tub, Bill?
No, I'm taking the soap.
You're taking the soap.
I'm taking the soap.
How could you not?
Oh.
Yeah. You know what?
Whose
we're gonna end
bathwater
the-
would you choose?
uh,
Is there a bathwater you would accept?
if
Yeah,
I
there it
had
is.
to,
You guys both paused long enough to think of one person you'd let that bathwater
ain't got
rain
nobody.
over you. You sick freaks.
my wife.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah.
What a
All
lame man.
I love her
All
so
right.
much.
Sports
So-
talk.
Yes. You know what? I think we'll end on that one. Mainly because we're running late. So that was a good one. I like that one. It's a pretty easy choice though.
Was there a bonus
So-
one from last week?
So funny. I had it. I don't have it on me anymore.
Ah. I was so
was-
curious to know what that was.
Maybe I do have it. Hold on. All right.
A little bit.
I do have the one that I have from last week. It is
You found the bonus one.
I did. I found the bonus one. It's either cheese grater to the kneecap
Oh.
or candle wax to your eye.
What the hell?
Yeah.
You're
Pretty
sick.
dark.
Well,
Pretty
how
dark.
long and how many drops?
Just
Yeah.
I would say we're not trying to go the saw here. Just one quick grater to the kneecap and like
Would you
one
like to
shot
play a
of wax
game?
in the eye.
They call me the cheeseman.
Yeah.
Let me see your knees.
Just
Or
one grate to the knee.
Candle wax to the eyeball?
I'm taking
Yeah.
cheese grate to the knee.
Oh,
One time. It's gonna suck either way. But
Oh,
at least
gosh,
I'll be
dude.
able to
Oh.
see afterwards. I won't have to pull hardened wax out of my eye afterwards.
Look at
Oh,
my-
I got some cuts on my leg, sure.
Could that,
Well, at
I
least
mean,
we
does
can pull
soon,
wax
could
out.
that blind you?
I don't know if it could blind you, but it would suck to have to pull it out of your eye.
You don't know?
I have no idea. I don't know. In fact, I don't even know if it would harden in your eye. It might not. It probably would. But
Man,
Yeah,
the
dude.
cheese.
I'm gonna take the grate. Ugh.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. I do the same. Just
Can I
one.
choose the knee?
No.
I can't even choose which knee.
Would you
They
call
just
him
give it-
cheese?
I mean, it's not going to be that. I mean, it's going to rip some skin off.
So it'd just be one full grater to the knee.
Yeah,
Like
Oh yeah.
or just
like
one.
that. Then yeah, I gotta take that
Yeah.
as opposed to potentially losing eyesight out of one eyeball.
Yeah.
If that's even a possibility.
Dude, that is a freaky one to have saved.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a sick man.
Yeah.
I've been stewing on that one for a week.
I have a more light.
You're just standing over Dean as he sleeps with a candle.
Yeah, I wonder if this would hurt his
cheese
eye.
grater in one hand.
These are actually tested first. That's how I
Ugh.
know I take the cheese grater. My knee hurts
Ugh.
so bad.
Yeah. So that was That was the bonus one. So, yeah. So with that, we will. Yeah, we're gonna call it an episode for tonight. Got in some good stuff. Can't wait to see who the Red Wings take tomorrow. That'll be fun. So that'll be it for tonight's episode. We thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. We do we do appreciate it. You know, a little behind the scenes action is that every week I screw this up. So go me. So again, thank you. We appreciate it. Again, like, subscribe. Thank you. Anything you guys want to add before?
No, thank you. Like and subscribe. Thank you. Oh no.
Grab
No,
our virtual hands.
Oh. No, thank you everybody for watching and listening, and comment, like, and share is always great. And yeah, feel free to interact with us on everything.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, you guys have a good one. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.
Peace.
Sports Talk.